So my name is Prince, and I hold a bachelor's degree in economics and math, and then a master's degree in applied math, and finally a PhD in computer science. So in terms of research, I'm more into natural language processing and I think a bit of computer vision. So that's what I'm keen about in terms of research. Aside that, I think that's just a brief introduction about myself. Yeah.
So let's get started. I guess I would ask, how do you feel about the approval notice?
Oh yeah. So I think I feel happy, of course, about it. Yeah, I feel happy because the path to getting a green card is not that easy. I don't know if most of you have heard other people and their story. Yeah, it's not everyone who finishes and is able to even secure a green card. Others even don't know of this opportunity. So I think I'm blessed and I'm happy and I'm fortunate to have gotten my NIW approved. Yeah.
Are you satisfied with the outcome?
Yes, I am. I think the outcome is either acceptance or rejection. Yeah, and with the acceptance, I'm really satisfied with the process and everything. Yeah.
Okay, okay, thank you. So I guess my most important question is, how did you learn about Rama Consult?
I think in my case, I was I think it was posted in, I think where I did my master's, we had a WhatsApp group. So I think a year ago, someone posted it on the WhatsApp group that they'll be hosting you for you to also give a talk about how to get your NIW approved, even as a master's student. So I joined, and that was when I got to know about you and your consultancy that you offer in terms of helping people get approved for the NIW program. Yeah.
Okay, okay. And so usually it's like, okay, you've heard about someone. It could be even you've heard about a consultant firm. I guess what I would ask is like, what made you decide to take a step with Rama Consult? Because like it could be that you heard about me, maybe I even you heard one of my talks, but what made it, how confident or why did you decide to take the step with Rama Consult?
I think so. Initially, I tried to do it on my own. So I think I overheard someone talk about it in my during my PhD days, and I think it was by one of our professors. He filed and did everything on his own. So he also organized a workshop or a seminar. Then he introduced us how to do it, and he was like, "You can file it on your own, even without using anybody's help." Yeah, but I think I personally decided to use the assistance of someone. I had other people who have done it, and I could have used their resources. But personally, for me, I was feeling lazy to go through everything on my own, so I decided to use someone else's assistance throughout the process. And I think once I attended your seminar, and based on your presentation and how you you spoke about the process and how you help people get it and your success rate, I decided to pursue your service. So I think I had you as one of the people that I'll get in contact with when I'm ready to do it. And I think the main reason why I did contact you is based on your seminar, a seminar one like this, and how you went about the process. So I was convinced that you are capable of helping. Yeah.
Okay. And you in the introduction you told us a little bit about yourself, but one of the things is that I've seen that the number has grown, so meaning a lot of people are trickling in. So one question that I have now is, tell us about your background. Like it's okay if you repeat what you said because the number has increased ever since we started this session. For those of us who just joined.
Okay. So as I said, for the sake of privacy, and I just want to hide a bit of information about myself. So I'm just going to be brief and just type on certain few things about myself. So my name is Prince, and I hold a bachelor's in economics and math, and then a master's in applied math, and then a PhD in computer science. So in terms of research, I'm mainly into natural language processing, and then a bit of computer vision. Yeah, a bit of computer vision. So that's in terms of my research area and what I'm interested in.
But thank you for sharing once again.
Yeah.
Were you confident in a straightforward approval?
Yes, I think after speaking to you, so initially I knew a little bit about how it goes or the process, but after speaking to you, I think you rather gave me after speaking to you and showing you, I think was it my CV or my credential? You rather gave me much confidence and we're like, you know what, don't wait longer, just go for it because my credentials or what I have is very strong. Yeah, so I think I became more confident after having an engagement or after speaking to you. Yeah.
Okay, okay, thank you. Do you have any citation, uh, if I may ask? Just to
Yes,
in
yes.
this question because a lot of people have mixed feelings about the whole process and their citation, and you need like 500, 600 citations. So I guess, do you have citation? Can you tell us a little bit about that if you can share?
Yes. So I had about 20 citations for the papers that are in, yeah, for the total number of papers that I've written. I had 20 citations. But I think from your previous seminar that I attended where I got to know you, I think you shared your story about how you didn't have any citation and how you can even put up a strong case even if you don't have a citation. I think so. I think one of your criteria was that once you have a master's, there's a way you can make a strong case, or even if you're in a master's program, there's a way you can make a strong case. And I think you were encouraging people to work on certain things whilst they are in school so that it can help them make a strong case. Yeah. So I think in my case, I was fortunate to have citations, but even if you don't have a citation, I think there's a way out. Yeah.
Okay. And to add a little bit to what he said, that's perfectly true. I think about a month ago or 2 months ago, I also hosted Kofi, who also was right from Ghana, approval with the Rama Consults. He's currently in the United States now. He had no citation. So just to give you a little bit background, while citation is important for the process, it is not required. Right? So, anyway, thank you so much, Prince, for sharing that. So we worked together for about a month. How would you describe our services?
Yeah, I think for your service, I think I'm going to give it A plus because I think I was the one who was even slagging or lagging, but you kept putting pressure on me in terms of we have to get this thing done by the end of the month. And yeah, so most of the motivation even came from you and not even me the applicant. Yeah. So I think for your service, I'm going to rate it A plus. If and only if you cooperate. Yeah. Because if you don't cooperate, I think what Ebo needs or Iman needs is your cooperation. Once you cooperate, everything is going to be swift and very smooth. Yeah. So I think for your service, I'm going to rate it A plus. Yeah.
Thank you so much. It's great to always hear that about our clients. So that's great. Thanks for sharing that.
Yeah.
So I guess maybe you spoke a little bit about it, but with regards to promptness and timeline of the write-up, can you tell us something about it and um, what people should expect if they are using the services of Rama Consult?
Yeah. So when using the services of Rama Consult, I think one of the times I said you have to cooperate with Emmanuel. For he meeting his timelines, he's on point. So assuming if he says that probably send me these documents, I want to work on your CV. He does it on time. Yeah, one thing I did experience that he's very much on time with his deliveries. He even meets his deadlines and even go extra mile to make edits if you are not satisfied with the line and stuff. Yeah. So I think most of the work or bulk of the work depends on the client. If they want things to be very smooth. For instance, if he says that I want to use this month to finish your case for you, and he sends you messages, you have to respond swiftly so that he can finish up with your case. I think even for mine, we could have even finished it in just 2 weeks or just in just 3 weeks. Yeah. Yeah. So I think for promptness and for swiftness, I'm going to also rate you guys A plus. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you again for sharing this. I was
Yeah.
just informed that my voice is a little bit down, so I'm going to try and scream. And did you find transparency in the whole process? Like, did you feel like I was hiding something from you? Did you feel like I was very open throughout the whole process?
Yes, I think Ebo was very open as well. I think when I even got approved, I think we did. I spoke to you about trying to understand the process, and even called again and he was still very patient trying to explain. So I think one thing about Ebo when you are working with him is that he tries as much as possible to break things down and come. For instance, there are some terminologies that that is involved in this area that you might not know. But one thing the book does is that he kind of explains it using layman's language for you to try and comprehend it. And there's no much of close-endedness in terms of secrecy in the whole process. Once you avail yourself to work with him, just be open as well in terms of your questions. Yeah, so because I remember in one of the situations, I think I had a couple of extra citations along the period where we were what do you call it? Filing for my NIW. And I think he rather even saw it and then told me that he's seen an update over there. So he's very much even transparent, even more than the clients that he's even dealing with. Yeah. And I think later along the line, I got another paper accepted. And I was like, oh, it's okay. Maybe I don't want him to rewrite the whole draft again. But he was very accommodating again. So it's more or less his end. He's very open-minded and very transparent about the whole process, and even not bothered if other informations are revealed along the way. Yeah, so that's one thing I also did like about Rama Consult. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you for sharing that. I know this is not a question that is on board, but I've had certain concerns from people who are trying to do it that sometimes my field is a little bit too technical and it's difficult to and narrow it down. I don't know, in your case, like, how do you feel about how technical the field can be and how it could also help in securing a green card?
In terms of my area of studies.
Yes, 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 yes.
Oh, okay, okay. I think so. One thing, so even before maybe me having to join your seminar, I'd also joined another seminar where the person was sharing his story of also he was from I think, is it geology or those social sciences, right? And he was even able to file it and get it. So I think it's not. So the whole point is that once you're a master's student or a bachelor student, it doesn't really matter your field of study. It's about the case you are going to make to the counselor or the person reading your case, how significant your field of study and is to the US in terms of contribution to its economy or GDP or security or whatever it is. So it doesn't really matter your field of study. Yes, of course, we know if you're in the STEM field, it's very much easier to make a case. We all know that is true. But you shouldn't be discouraged if maybe you are doing linguistics or you are doing French. There's a lot of way you can make a case that you're reading French, all right, but in terms of US relation with other countries, especially in Africa, we will need people linguists who will be able to translate or make. So it doesn't really matter. Once you are a master's student, a bachelor student, and reading something, there's always a way you can make a strong case how beneficial you are to US. Yeah. But if you are doing a STEM field, it's much easier to make a case. That is my point of view. Yeah.
Thank you so much for sharing that, Prince. And to add a little bit to what he said, Rama Consult have had a different base of clients, which has ranged from the arts and more recently history and very non-STEM programs. And so, just to give you clarity as well, like he has already said, it is never said anywhere that it is specifically for STEM. It is for all programs. It's about making a case, like he said. And so that is one of the things that Rama Consult helps to be able to do in general. So having said this, Prince, would you recommend our services to others?
Oh, definitely I will. I will, yeah.
And can you share some specific aspects of our services that really stood out to you during our collaboration?
Mm, yeah, I think one thing that I really liked is how you wrote my petition. Yeah, for some reason it's something that I really appreciate because I think if I should have per se write it on my own, it would have been much easier. But I think based on you having to do it more than once for other clients and gathered a bit more experience, I really saw that it was technically written, well written, and even me reading it knew that this is a strong case. For some reason, I really knew that this was a strong case because it wasn't like an afterthought. Maybe someone sit down and just write just an afterthought of a petition, and it has to be revised over and over for a couple of times. But it was really well written, really well written. The CV well written, the petition, yeah. So that's one thing that really stood out for me. Yeah.
Again, for the next 30 minutes, this will be an opportunity for other people to ask you direct questions. Or if they want to point it back at me, that's fine. And I'm here. So in the next 30 minutes will be opportunity. If you have any questions about this process, you can either just type it in the chat or you can unmute yourself and do it.
Hi, my name is Bridget. I wanted to ask Prince a quick question. I know you said it took like 1 month for you to submit your petition and everything. I wanted to know how long it took before you got an approval. Thank you.
I think we submitted ours on, was it Friday? Yeah. Above, is it true? Correct me if I'm wrong. I think we mailed it.
The Friday, yep, I agree.
Yeah, we mailed it on Friday and we got a response by Wednesday, right?
Yes, exactly.
By Wednesday that it has been approved. So if you take away weekends, then it's maybe 1, 2, 3, maybe 3 days because weekends is not a working day, yeah. So nobody works on, yeah.
Okay, thanks.
You're welcome.
Any other question or questions for
I think
friends? For me as well.
Excuse me, my name is Hayford. I just joined. I'm kind of lost a little, but just to find out, how do we contact you?
Oh, that's a very good question. So let me put the details down, and then yeah, that's a good question. So there is a question about, can a person who is not in the US apply? The answer is yes. I always say this over and over again, that this whole thing doesn't, there is nowhere in this process that is said that you have to be in the United States to apply for a green card. No. In fact, if you think about the whole process, like it is meant for people who are not even in the country. That's why it's an immigration process. So you don't have to be in the US to apply. You only have to meet the requirements to apply. That is it. And I think there's a follow-up question about have you tried filing for bachelor's degree? Yes, in fact, 3 people specifically for just the bachelor's degree. Those, and they've all had approvals. Those who don't have a master's degree, their path is different. But if you meet the requirements, we can always do an application on your behalf.
So I have a question. So I wanted to know, like, if you do the review and maybe you spot some errors, will you charge extra money for correcting those errors, or is inclusive in the price?
So it depends. For every page, I don't do more than 6 lines write up, right? So that would include it. And also, before I decide to go with a review, I would have to read the entire petition first. If it's something that I think it is not even well written, then I won't consider that as a review. But basically, for every page, I do 6 lines write up. So it isn't that I don't do any write up, but it's just limited for reviews. Does that answer your question?
Yes.
I think there is a question about, does NIW require an interview? For the first stage, no, it doesn't. But the second stage, they may, but most likely they don't. Unless, of course, they think maybe you've changed something, but they usually don't. No, it doesn't include USCIS fees. Those are just service fees for Rama consult. So any fees would be paid differently by the client. So the application fees is really is there a way I can file for my defendant? You meant dependent, right? Because yeah, I'm sure you meant dependent. Dependent along with my petition. Yes. So actually the process is you can add your spouse, so and then you can add your kids, provided that your kids are less than 18 years of age. And yeah, so So that, yeah, so you can add them, but they should be very young. But your spouse doesn't have any age limits. Your kids have an age limit. So again, it's not just about the numbers, right? Like next month, I'm going to be interviewing another client of mine, and this client has no citation, no publication, apart from the one project he did during his master's degree, right? So I believe Mohammed is the one who asked me that question. There is no number. And as a matter of fact, it's not required. So I can't tell you any number of publications or citations.
So I have a quick question. Can I go ahead?
Yes, Bridget, please ask.
So why is it that some don't need any publication and citations and others need it?
Yeah.
And my second question is, so if your child is 21, can't you also file for the child on it?
Yeah, good question. I think I said, or maybe I think either I misspoke or something, but for clarification, if your child is 21 and below, you can apply for this child. Yes. And of course, your spouse. And good question. So with regards to citations, it depends on the field of study, right? So for example, if you pick a field like global studies, right, international relations, this is a field that historically or generally it is not research based. It's based on your experience, right? So what are some of the things that you've done with other organizations or other entities, right? So it's actually field based. And that ties in nicely with another question about how many citations do you need and all of those things. All right, so let's pick somebody who is studying a mathematics field as a research, you understand? I felt like that it is very difficult to get publications in general, right? So you can't, there can't be a universal right answer, right? Let me give you another simple example that you may think it's crazy. Pick a footballer. If you are making a case for a footballer, you can't talk about publication. You can't even talk about research because none of those things make sense. You are going to talk about perhaps the number of goals, the number of leagues this person has played, the number of awards this person has won, right? So that's why I always struggle to answer the question about how many citations, how many papers. It is a case by case assessment, right? For example, I know that when Messi came into the country, they did an O1 and eventually a BB1 for him, right? Messi doesn't have any paper, right? But we know he's Messi, right? So it depends on the field and it depends on your particular study and your particular area. And then I want to clarify that it is for dependents. If your dependents are below 21, yes, you can add them. And of course, your spouse, there is no age limit. You can always add your spouse in the process. I'm studying for my master's in the US, but I have a bachelor's degree with 5 years of experience. Will you recommend me filing it now or waiting to finish my master's? These are questions that I would have to assess it on a case by case study, you understand? So you can definitely follow up with me and then we can sort those things out. But for now, I can't say yes or no. It depends on what I see with regards to your credentials.
My question is, how many cases can you handle at a time?
Great question. I think sincerely, I handle 8 cases per month. And so in terms of cases, my max is usually 8 per month. Yeah, so 8 cases per month. And sometimes even much less. I know that I've worked with a client that we submitted within 14 days. So again, it depends on each cases, but yeah, every month I submit at least 8 cases. At most, for those of you who do math.
Quick question again. So I heard somebody say that how long or what is the processes that goes into it. And I heard you say that you're going to do the writing up to when your green card is at hand. I have a concern or a question about that. So sometimes, do you ask your client to still write some things for you, or is something that you can do in conjunction with your client? Like, okay, I have these questions that I want you to answer, and if you know your client, or you can you discuss so that you get it written for your client, or the client has to write it and send.
So there are 4 questions that I always ask my clients to answer. And these 4 questions, I always say that no more than 1 paragraph for each of these 4 questions. Those questions are always required for any of my clients. And I believe Prince, are you still on the line? If yes, do you remember writing a case summary?
Yeah, I think I remember you. So I think there are certain things that you would have to finish it with, in as much as maybe he has taken on your case that he wants to write. Like you've taken the option where he's going to write everything from A to Z for you. There are certain information that you have to finish him with. Yeah, so those are the things that I think he's going to give you the prompts and expect you to, write something, something little, and then he builds on from there, because you are the one who have walked your journey of life and your academic career, and you can write things about yourself more than he can. So, and I don't think even those things are even a lot. Yeah, so that was my experience, and I think that was even understandable even for me. Yeah, so. I think he gave me certain prompts, and then I sat down and I completed those prompts, and he built on from there. I don't know if I've answered it correctly or not yet.
And to add to what Prince just said, the petition itself usually ranges from 25 pages to 35 pages, right? The petition itself. And that write-up you do usually doesn't even exceed 2 pages. So it is nothing compared to the petition itself at all in any point. So that is something that I also want to add.
Hello, thank you very much, Evo. I have a couple of questions. I was wondering, in case you file and then you are successful and you get your green card, does it come with a job? In case you relocate to the US, are you going to get a job?
No, but
You have to look for it yourself.
Yes, you have to look for it. But the good thing about the US is, if you do have your green card and you are like all the way from Ghana and you are coming, it is very easy to get a job. So let me give you an example of Kofi, who migrated all the way from Ghana to the US, who came just, I think, 3 weeks ago. But we started the journey a year ago back in Ghana. When he came, he just started as he has his master's degree, so he's currently teaching for one community college, but he's currently still looking for a job. I mean, for a job to survive, you would get very easily for the most part, but a very lucrative job, it would take maybe 2 to 3 or 4 months, depending on your criteria. But most likely, if you've already met NIW, getting a job that at least you could get a monthly pay is easy. Like, worst case scenario, you can always work in Walmart or drive Uber.
Great, thanks. And then, do you have a document that you can share that we can prep ourselves with and then inform our decision as to, how to get back to you? And with the payment do you have any installments that you allow your clients to pay?
Yeah.
Or you have to pay the full?
No, all my clients go through installments, and I can share that with you once you contact Rama Consult through the email that I provided. But yeah, there is an installments plan available.
Okay, thank you.
Haibo,
Yeah.
I don't know if anyone has a question, but I would have to, excuse you
Yes.
guys.
I have a question for Doc.
Oh, okay. But before Prince leaves, I want to thank Prince once again for making the time to be And what would be a one last statement or sentence for somebody who is thinking about this process in general?
Yeah, my last statement, I'll say go for Rama consult. That I can bet my last penny on it. Yeah, I was very pleased with his service from start to finish. Yeah, so if probably some of you have gone elsewhere, attended other seminars, and you are torn in between which is which, I'll tell you, go for Rama consult, and you will not regret. Go for it. That's my advice for you. Yeah, because initially I had wanted to write it on my own, and if you are not very determined, probably have to watch a lot of YouTube videos, and yeah. So if you can pay that extra cost for a green card, that can save you, or else you are always going to procrastinate. Yeah, if you are not very determined to do it on your own, and you don't want to procrastinate and sit down until maybe time catches with you, you have to now apply for jobs, and they are going to tell you because you're not a US citizen, or you don't have green card, and yeah, you've been disqualified because of just that. Then go for it now. Pay the cost, get the peace of mind within just a month max. For me, I'm going to say max a month because I was the one delaying the process. Yeah, within just a month, you get your approval, then you have your peace of mind. So that's my last advice I'm going to give to anyone. Just go for it. Don't think very much, or don't bother. Just go for it. Just get in touch with him, start the process. Whatever thing he asks of you, just finish him with it, and then he'll walk you through the process, and then you'll be done. Yeah.
So Prince, I have a quick question for you. How were you delaying the process? What are some of the things that you did?
I think sometimes he asked me, okay, Prince, provide me with this. I want you to write something. For instance, okay, he asked me for my research. Yes, and I also had to submit it with my CV, which I had to polish a little bit because I had to, go into my archives, and some of the accomplishments had amassed over the years. I had to go look for them. Some of the scholarships were very hard to find information about them, So those are those little things that was lagging. Yeah, those, because I think because I was the one who had walked my journey of life, I know what are the awards, the certificates I had acquired. So I had to deep down my archives for those documents, and yeah. So I was the one who was. I think the CV took a while, and yes, and the documents that I had to finish the him with took some time because I had to order transcripts. I had to wait for them. My certificate wasn't in. I had to contact the school, and yeah. So I was the one who. Those were those little things, yeah. But it took a month, yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So quick question.
Thank you once again, Prince, for your time. Just for to allow, because I promised him that we didn't want to.
Oh, you can allow him, yeah. Maybe
Just
just
wait.
a few minutes, yeah. You can allow him, yeah. I can wait a little bit, yeah.
Okay, so I wanted to know, after everything, does Raymond Consult submit the petition, or you send everything to the person for the person to submit it? Yeah.
Yes, and this is one thing too I like about Rama Consult. So I think you are the one going to mail it yourself, but he walk you through the process, as in like you teaching a toddler to walk. So he's going to tell you, print this, you go and print it. He calls me on the phone. We arranged it side by side. Like he's going to walk you through the process. Yeah, as though you were a toddler that you are being taught to walk. And even some of the things you might think it's not needful, I can do it, but he goes the extra mile to make sure that everything is on point. So you are the one going to mail it and not him. Yeah. I don't know if that answers your question.
Yes. Okay,
Okay.
a quick question too. How many recommenders did you use? Did you use like 4 or 5 recommenders?
Yeah, I think in my case, Rama Consult or Emmanuel told me that I don't need recommendations because of was it because of my citations?
No, it was because I felt like your case I could make it without
Okay.
yeah. It
Yeah.
wasn't
Yeah,
because
he told me that I don't need recommendations. Yeah, my case is good enough. Yeah.
I would stay for the next maybe 5 minutes or two, but thank you so much, Prince, for your time, and we will still be in touch. You can't get rid of me now, but once again, thank you so much.
All
And
right.
so,
Talk to you later.
okay, sure. Thank you, Prince. So for the next 5 minutes, if you have any follow-up questions, you can ask. But because we started 5 minutes after 5, so just give me that extra 5 minutes.
So what about if maybe something happens and the client is rejected? What do you do about that one too?
Great question. So in my retainer, I've always said that plus USCIs usually I have never seen it happen that there's going to be a first rejection. There is going to be something we call RFE, which is called request for evidence. A request for evidence means that, or maybe based on what was submitted, a certain aspect hasn't been explained or they are not convinced. So the burden lies on the petitioner to address it. In that process, I'm going to address it carefully. And because of skilled expertise, none of my clients have gone through RFE. That being said, should you go through RFE and get a denial or a notice of intent to deny, I'm going to refile again after 6 months based on the recommendations because USCIS is also obliged by law mandated by Congress that should they deny after a request for evidence and a notice of intent to deny specific cases or specific reasons why in some large extent you weren't granted, which means that 6 months will be enough time to build a case and to resubmit it at no cost again to the client.
Yeah, hello. My question is, do you have offices in the state that on daily basis we can just go and make inquiries? I just want to find out.
Let me put in the information where you can always make inquiries through and then it comes to me. But in the next quarter, you should have a centralized website available. But contact this email and all your questions will be
Recording available.
Yep, this email. Yep, once you contact this email, any questions you have will be addressed.
Dr. Drew, I'm just following up a question with the one that I asked previously. Prince said that he got approval in 3 days. Was it premium processing or was it the regular one?
He did premium process.
Okay.
Hello, Doc.
Yes, Mr. James.
So, assuming your client files for NIW, like you file for your client and he used the regular processing, at what point will they be able to use the premium processing, and will the use of the premium processing later affect the decision based on your experience?
First of all, I don't think the use of premium processing should affect the decision that is yet to be made. There are a lot of conversation about if you use a premium processing, they will deny you. That is not entirely true. That is not true. Let me not even say that is not entirely. Premium processing can be done at any point in time. It can be done before submission, that is together. I've had a client who I'll be interviewing next month who waited for a month and said, Jack, let's upgrade it to a premium processing. We upgraded it and in 8 days it got approval. So the premium processing would not affect the decision. The only thing is that the premium processing would bring your petition close to the person who is about to review it. So there are a lot of people. USCIS receives a lot of applications, NIW, EB1, EB3. There are a lot of different visa applications, and it takes a while before we call them the USCIS officers. It takes a while before they will get to your file because it becomes a stack. You think about it. We think about it, right? It becomes a stack. And so think of it that they have a lot of boxes and with a lot of petitions. And remember, all these petitions, they are paper-based. When I say paper-based, it means everything is paper-based. So everything is being sent to their offices. So there is a big pile full of papers and supporting cases. If you pay premium processing, they just have, by law, they have to go and look for your paper where they cataloged it and give you a decision. But if you don't pay a premium processing, then they do it first, they wait and then have their pattern. So like maybe they have to finish this box before they get to that box. And so premium processing just means that by law, they are mandated to see your petition. That's all. It doesn't affect the decision of the thing. The decision would always be based on wherever the officer wants to look at the case.
Hey, Doc, I just want to find out if, in case I'm going for either premium or regular, am I bounded by time?
Well, how do you mean? Sorry.
What I'm saying is, in case whether I'm doing either premium or regular, am I bounded by time in terms of paying installments? Am I bounded by time?
No, it should be whether you're doing premium or regular. I'm going to give you the same service. No, my services won't change because you decided to do premium or decided to do regular. No, I don't have anything like that. So yeah, whether you do regular or premium. In fact, I have a lot of clients who have done regular and I didn't delay them because they were doing regular. No, that's fine. In fact, I always say that if you were a student and you really can't afford it, I can't afford it, you can always do it and expect that maybe in a year you hear back from them. If you're a student, it makes a lot of sense, right? But if you're a little bit time crunch on STEM, OPT, and all those things, those are different conversations.
Doc, my question. I personally, I'm a student, so I want to find out in terms of payment. So if I choose to pay it installment, in other point, won't it affect me? Because since it will take a longer time for me to, pay, I don't know the exact amount. If, for instance, if I'm going for a regular and maybe I'm paying, let's estimate 7,000, and I'm a student, I'm paying it in installments. And can I decide to use either 2 years or 1 year? I just want to find out.
Your question, you've succeeded in confusing me, so congratulations.
What I'm saying is, okay.
That being said, we can talk specifically about the payments plan, but there won't be any issue about timelines. Like if you're worried about timeline, no, there won't be any issues about timeline.
Okay.
Once you come to me, I assess your case and I give you a month that I want to submit it. That's what will happen.
Do you please give a month you want to submit it? So if I'm doing my case and we are working on it, do we have a timeline that we want to submit it, or it depends on the pay on which we work?
No, it depends. You see, so if I get all the information that I need, all the required information that I need for an approval, I won't hesitate to submit. But one thing you should always be mindful of is that I know a lot of people are interested in let's submit. That's not a problem. But you know that I want a win for everyone, for all clients. I want a win for all this because you win, I win. If you lose, I also lose. It's not just about you, right? And so if I decide to pick your case and I tell you I need A, B, C, D, then I need A, B, C, D. But if you go like, okay, I've taken your case, I say I need A, B, C, D, give me A, B, and you want to force me into submitting, I could just refund your money and tell you I won't. Because the last thing I also want to do is submit something that is not up to standard. It makes no sense to do that. In the long run, you are going to be the one to suffer a lot emotionally, right? So once I have all the required information that I need, submission is not a problem at all. In fact, most of my clients will tell you that I rather put a lot of pressure on them.
Yeah, Doc. So does it mean that anyone or everyone applying for this must have at least a published article or paper? You know, that is my first question. And the second one is, from what you said, it means there is a room for a payment plan, but that would be determined by you, right?
Yes. That is exactly what I hope somebody wants to get out of this conversation. I'm not saying that you need a research publication to be able to get an approval. No, I hope that is not what you get out of it. But depending on your field, okay, so let me give you an example. Say I'm an electrical engineer. Provided I have a master's degree, or provided that I have 8 years of experience, if I have a bachelor's degree, together with information that is convincing enough, you can't say that an engineer should be having research. Engineers don't write papers. They are in the field doing things in their hands, right? You can't tell someone like Messi to have papers before he gets NIW. Messi is scoring goals. Messi has nothing to do with paper writing, right? And so it depends on your field of study and your particular case. So hopefully you don't get out of this meeting thinking that all you need is papers before you can. I mean, if you have it, that's fine. But depending on your field, you may not need it. It may not be directly applicable. But that determination is made when we have a consultation service with Rama. We would outline what I think you have a straight case, you have something to do. I will talk about all those things if you consult with Rama service. Well, I would say that I want to thank you all again for making this interview. If you have any questions, you can reach out to the email that I sent. Sincerely, right now today, I can't tell anybody on this call whether you should apply or not because I haven't seen your CV, right? And so if you really want to know whether you should apply or not, reach out to the email because I need to see your complete package and see how we can address it. So unfortunately, I can't tell you right now to apply or not because I haven't seen your portfolio. So I can't answer that question. But if you reach out to the email, I'll be happy to schedule an information session where we discuss the specific merits of your case and how to move forward with your case. I'm going to end it here, but thank you all for your patience and time this evening. And one way or the other, we'll be in touch.